bring to the market new kinds of growth, better tomatoes, better shelf life, all those things that push this growth into the future, really, because the world is in a desperate need for food, and looking forward, it's going to be hotter global wide. It's not just here. It's going to be hotter and drier. And to be prepared, you have to be always developing new seeds, new growth that could survive the new conditions, the changing conditions.
Do they use desalted water?
They use, I don't know if you saw those stickers in the hotel, don't drink the water. They use water that is not 100% fresh water. They're not salty water, but they use water that is like much less salty than ocean water, but still not fresh water altogether, from underground drainings that they have. And they develop seeds that can sustain or be developed on those kinds of water that otherwise couldn't be useless, and on and on and on. All crazy
so there's no
ideas.
need for desalting plant?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you won't need to invest all this energy that you need to invest in order to turn ocean water to drinking quality water. Another major investment and development is in the irrigation systems that are being developed. Well, in most cases you spray areas, you spray the fields. Over here you hardly see this. What you do see is those dripping systems that were pretty much developed here in Israel. And these are like smart bombs. Each drop of water is aimed directly to the roots of the plant. You run along the field plastic pipelines, and in every few, depends on what you're growing there, but by the roots of the plant you have this kind of one-way dripping head that would allow the drops of the water come out right to the roots of the plant, and by that you reduce the water that you need dramatically. And this is being marketed worldwide now.
Yeah. Can I ask you something?
And they're doing now, we have a huge problem of water, like everybody around us, and like major areas in the world.
Recycled water.
We're doing major efforts to recycle. Most of the water of the Tel Aviv municipality area, which is like a block of about 1.5 to 2 million people, is being now recycled and sent to the Negev desert.
Wow.
Areas that were complete deserts are now orange groves.
Oh, wow.
And citrus groves down in the Negev, and this is all using the water, recycled water of the Tel Aviv area. And they're also building desalination facilities throughout the shoreline of Israel. Israeli economy is consuming something like 2 billion cubic meters a year, 2 million cubic meters, and about 1/3 of it comes from the Sea of Galilee, water that is being pumped out of the Sea of Galilee sent to the south of the country. About 1/3 is coming from underground water reservoirs. They're drilling down to the aquifer and they're pulling up water. And about 15%, about 10% is recycled water, and about 15% currently is desalinated water. It's seawater that is being turned into fresh quality drinking water. We have 2.5 facilities. One is in Eilat that is doing some 40 million cubic meters, and all the water of the Eilat area is of this source. And we have 2 big facilities along the shoreline of the Mediterranean Sea that are doing together 200 million. So together currently we're doing something like 250 million, and within 5 years we're going to double this. So some 25% of the consumption of the country would be produced water, man-made water.
Wow.
It's crazy. The technology was there for many years, but it was very, very expensive. Now that with improvement of the technology and with the fact that we have to do large quantities, it's to turn seawater into fresh water costs about 60 cents a cubic meter. American sense. And so it's about what it costs to drill down and pump up water from underground. And this is like new water that is being brought into the system. It's not, which is really a major sort of achievement and development, because this problem is shared throughout the globe. There are many, many areas that are facing this problem, including in the US, the Los Angeles area and south into some, all these areas are, and not to mention, you know, well, major parts of the world. And source of energy for the Israeli economy here.
A dead sea.
And died. God didn't allow him into the promised land. He was looking at it from up there, and he died there. The Jewish tradition, the Jewish Bible, he made a lot of effort that his burial site would not be known, so he won't be worshipped. See those? This is a young one as well.
Oh, there is. Several
People.
Wow.
It's the closest to women.
I didn't know they were white camels. Single lump, right?
The hump is where they're storing the fat, and the huge stomach is where they're storing the water. It's called Kasser Eliyahu, the house of the Jews. And this is where Jesus was baptized by John. Later on, when we cross the Jordan this afternoon, going to Tiberias, we're going to point another place along the Jordan where people are doing their baptismal nowadays. This is on the Jordan, but it's much, much further up north. It's just that the Jordan exits the Sea of Galilee, starting its journey, where you can still have some water that is relatively clean. So people are being baptized up there now. We're going to see this. We're going to drive by there later this afternoon. Coming from Jordan.
This is Jericho.
Of Jordan, and King Hussein came very brutally against them and kicked them out. And at this point, the Syrians almost stayed off the mountains. Very thinly, thinly populated by Palestinians, because the climate here is so difficult, and you can't do any farming really here. Up on the mountains, that is. Down in the valley you could, because you bring in water. So there are very few Palestinians in comparison to the western side, but relatively many Jewish settlements. So this is one of the Palestinian villages we're driving through right now. And twist them and bend them and make stuff out of them. So this is a memorial up there. In this junction, if we had turned left and climbed up the mountain, but they're coming back from school at about 1 o'clock. I'm talking about elementary school. So the school day is shorter, but they're going for more days. We talked about the economy, right? What else? What kind of a...
College, unemployment?
Unemployment today is almost embarrassing to quote. It's a little bit over 6%. For many years it was over 10.
Yeah.
I told you the economy here is doing very well in the last few years. The economical growth is between 4 to 5% a year. Unemployment now is all the way down to 6 point something.